Good morning, students. So, the previous class, you know clearly what is called excretion. The lesson is also called as the waste disposing system. The wastage disposing system. Every animals and every organisms they can secrete. Of course, they can eliminate some kinds of waste materials. It might be ordinary materials or it might be nitrogenous compounds. Mostly the developed animals can also secrete the nitrogenous compounds. You know clearly ammonia, urea, and uric acid. The topmost dangerous nitrogenous waste among the remaining two is called as ammonia. Okay, it is 1 lakh time dangerous than the remaining urea and uric acid also roughly. Clear? The topic we will discuss later in the intermediate topics also. No. So that in excretory system, the waste disposing system, the chief organs of this particular system is called as kidneys. Not the chief organs. The main important. Okay, the vital organs of the excretory system is called as kidneys. Basically, where are these kidneys? Where are the lungs? Where are the kidneys? Where is the brain? And where is the heart? Where is the liver and pancreas? These are totally commonly called as internal organs of our body. Okay. So mostly internal organs are completely protected by rib cage and also the cranium also. So mostly the kidneys also protected from all sides. Mostly, if you are observing clearly in the previous topic also, this is chest cavity and this is the abdominal cavity. The chest cavity organs are called lungs and heart is completely protected from all sides by the rib cage itself now. This is the abdominal cavity. This is completely called as the ventral region and this is called as dorsal region. Ventral and back dorsal region. If you are keeping our fingers like this, where is the kidneys clearly? If you are keeping our fingers like this, for example, okay, when our fingers touches on the back side, roughly, that is the particular clear location of the kidneys itself now. Okay, one pair of kidneys are present in the dorsal side of the abdominal cavity. Observe clearly. One pair of kidneys. Don't say about the two kidneys. Of course, also no problem. It is one pair of kidneys means a similar structures. That's why it is commonly called as a pair. One pair of kidneys are present in the abdominal cavity of the dorsal side, not the ventral side. One on either side of the backbone or spinal cord, or simply called as the backbone. One on either side of the backbone. For example, if you run the backbone clearly, this is central part is commonly called as the backbone itself now. Clear? One on either side of the backbone. Okay. So next, from primary classes onwards, we know clearly kidneys are bean shaped, kidneys are bean shaped, kidneys are bean shaped. Clear now? The kidneys are in the size. The kidneys are in the shape of the bean, not in the size of the bean. Okay. So clearly, this outer region, this is completely called as convex. This is commonly called as concave. The outer merged region is called as convex. This is commonly called as concave. The inner depression part is commonly called as concave. One more thing, the measurements of kidney also. Okay, length, breadth, and also the thickness. Observe clearly. The length of the kidney is 10 centimeters. Okay, the breadth of the kidney is nearly 5 to 6 centimeters. And thickness of kidney is called 4 centimeters. If you are observing clearly, this is the complete called as length. This is length. Okay, that is by 10 centimeters. The width of the kidney from here to here, the width of the kidney is 5 to 6 centimeters. And the thickness of the kidney, for our easy understanding, that is commonly called just like as a diameter like this. Okay, the thickness of the kidney, it is by 4 centimeters. Okay, so one pair of kidneys are present in the dorsal side of the abdominal cavity, one on either side of the backbone itself now. Okay, so these kidneys are for our easy understanding, this is left kidney and this is right kidney. Whenever we draw any diagram, our right part is purely called as left side, our left part is purely called as right side itself now. That's why we are comparing like this. This is left and this is right. Clear? For our easy understanding, one of the kidney is cut into for our observation. That is commonly called as longitudinal section. Okay. So on the top of the kidneys, at the same time, one pair of glands are commonly called adrenal glands are located. Adrenal glands are located. This adrenal gland is a kind of an endocrine gland. These secretions are directly discharged into the blood itself now. We people are going to discuss about the adrenal glands in this topic now. That should be discussed in the 5th lesson. Okay now. So clear? So the adrenal gland is connected now. These two tubes which are connected to the two kidneys respectively, these are commonly called as posterior vena cava and dorsal aorta. Posterior vena cava. Do you know what is called vena cava? Vena cava means it is a kind of a caval vein which brings the deoxygenated blood itself now. Okay. This is called dorsal aorta. The dorsal aorta brings the oxygenated blood. That's why we've shown this particular one called something is red color and the blue one indicates as a deoxygenated blood one. Clear it is. So, with comparing clearly, the right kidney is something lower than the left kidney. The internal structure clearly now, the right kidney is something lower than the left kidney because there is a clear reason. If you are observing clearly, this is the right part. This is the right kidney. The right kidney is something lower because the internal endocrine gland, the largest internal endocrine gland, that is commonly called as a liver. On the part of the right kidney, liver above it. That's why that is something slightly lower than the left kidney itself now. Clear it is? Okay. So these tubes also connecting to the respective kidneys also. Here that is renal artery and renal vein. Renal artery and renal vein. So this is concave side. The depression part of the kidney is called as concave side. The concave side is enters. Renal artery enters into the depression part of the kidney. Okay. And whereas renal vein, this is called as renal vein exits. And again, this is commonly called as the ureter. This is ureter. Ureter and renal vein exits from the kidney, whereas renal artery enters into the kidney itself now. This is the hilus part or depression part. The depression part has three connections. First one is renal artery, second one is renal vein, third one is called as ureter. Renal artery enters, renal vein and ureter also exits to out. So what is the function of the renal artery, sir? Renal artery brings oxygenated blood. Renal artery brings oxygenated blood loaded with nitrogenous waste materials. Renal artery brings oxygenated blood loaded with nitrogenous waste materials. Of course, it is brings oxygenated blood, but they contain nitrogenous compound waste materials. It might be as ammonia or urea or uric acid itself now. Okay. The enters itself now. Renal vein. Okay, this is called a renal vein. Renal veins brings deoxygenated blood from the kidney to out itself now. Okay. The third part is called as ureter. Ureter also connecting to the two kidneys also. Two ureters, that is commonly called a pair of ureters are long tubes which enters and opens into a separate chamber. This is commonly called as a bladder, simply commonly called as urinary bladder. Respectively, both left and right ureters openings in the bladder by the separate openings. This is commonly called opening urethra into the bladder itself now. Okay. So the bladder is opens into the long tube which is commonly called as a urethra. Urethra. See, don't be confused about this. This is commonly called as ureter. This is commonly called as urethra. Urethra. Ureter. Urethra. Urethra opening into out. That is by external opening. External opening. Okay. Okay. This is by males. It is run by through the penis, and in females that is called a separate tube itself now. We will discuss later for the coming topic now. Okay. So these are the clear structures clearly now. One pair of kidneys are present. On the top of the kidneys, there is an adrenal glands. This is the kind of an endocrine glands itself now. Posterior vena cava, which connects the deoxygenated blood to the kidneys itself, whereas the dorsal aorta brings the oxygenated blood. Dorsal aorta also opens into the kidney as a renal artery, which brings the oxygenated blood loaded with nitrogenous waste materials. Okay. It also connecting to two more blood vessels called as renal vein and also the ureter. The internal structure, for our easy understanding, it is given clearly to us. Okay. So this is called as external structure of the kidney. If you understand clearly, LS of kidney. Do you know what is meant by LS? The topic is called LS, means longitudinal section. Longitudinal section. So, for example, this is an organism or any kind of an organ or organism. If you cut into this like this, if you cut the particular part like this, we can also divide it into two parts. That is commonly called as the transverse section. The same organ or the same organism, if you cut into from the longitudinal, from the top to bottom, okay, if you can able to observe two kinds of parts like this is commonly called as longitudinal section. Okay, the kidney is cut into the from top to bottom like this. This particular structure is enlarged here for your convenience. Okay. So already I told this complete region which is dark red in color, the convex region which is bulged outside, which is commonly called as cortex. Okay, sharply from the cortex, a light pale color, a light red colored zone, which is commonly called as medulla. A dark red colored zone, outermost dark red colored zone is called as cortex. This is outer dark red colored zone. Okay, this is medulla, light red colored zone, or something pale colored zone, which is commonly called as medulla. This is covered by separate membrane also, retroperitoneal membranes. Okay. So internally, in the part of the medulla, we can able to observe several pyramid-like structures. Pyramidal-like structures. These are commonly called as a calyces. Calyces, which are completely similar to that of sepals of flowers. Sepals of flowers. Those are looking like a calyces. That's why these are also commonly called as calyces. Nearly 9 to 12 pyramidal-like structures are present. Also commonly called as the calyces are present here. Okay. So for example, these calyces are also completely connecting with the internal part of the medulla. Okay. So within the calyces, a fine thread-like structures. These are commonly called as nephrons. These are called as nephrons. Okay. If you are observing clearly, each and every kidney is completely composed of millions of nephrons. Already nephrons are also commonly called as structural and functional units of the kidney. Structural and functional units. These are also commonly called renal tubules. Okay. Nephrons. These nephrons are completely present here. The formation of complete nephrons. A group of nephrons complete together to form as a kidney. Okay. Each and every kidney contains more than 1 million, approximately nearly 1.3 to 1.8 millions. Each and every kidney contains comprising of nearly 1.3 to 1.8 millions of nephrons are present, which are also called as the structural and functional units of the kidney. A fine thread-like structures. The base part of the nephron is also connecting with the cone-shaped structure of the calyces now. All these base part structures are opens like this. Okay. And again, this part is also connecting with this red part is commonly called as renal artery. Already this is connecting, carrying with oxygenated blood. This is commonly called renal artery, and this is brings the deoxygenated blood, brings means renal vein itself now. Renal artery enters, renal vein exits, and also this is commonly called as ureter. Okay. Same, this is also similar to the other kidney also. No? This is commonly called as internal structure or LS of kidney itself. No, clear? These two tubes are connecting with structures, internal structure of the, structures of the kidney. These are commonly called as ureters. Ureters opens into the separate chamber is called as the bladder. Bladder is opening into the last part is commonly called as urethra. Urethra opens into outer part is commonly called as external opening. The measurements of the kidney length 10 centimeters, breadth 5 to 6 centimeters, and thickness is 4 centimeters. Okay. What is the main function of the renal artery? Renal artery brings the oxygenated blood loaded with nitrogenous waste materials. Okay. Location of the kidney is one pair of kidneys are present in dorsal side of the abdominal cavity, one on either side of the backbone itself now. Okay, clear? This is commonly called as LS of kidney. The complete structures are shown for your convenience as a larger one itself now. Okay, the coming topic we will discuss later in the next topic now. Okay, thank you. Okay, continuously, this is called as LS of kidney. There are millions of nephrons are present in this. Okay, these are also called as the structural and functional units of the kidney. Millions of nephrons. A group of nephrons together called as a kidney. A group of cells together called as an organism. A group of neurons together called as a nervous system. At the same time, a group of alveoli together called as a lungs itself now, of course, respiratory system now. And at the same time, the group of nephrons. These are also called as the structural and functional units. So one of the nephron here, for example, this is one nephron. This nephron is enlarged. This is the clear structure of the nephron itself now. Clear? If you are observing, of course, LS of kidney and also the nephron diagram is very important to you. The anatomy of these two structures also very important. If you are observing clearly, in the nephron, there are basically two main regions are present. Okay. So first of all, Malpighian body. Second one, tubules. Renal tubules now. So first of all, what is meant by Malpighian body? So if you are observing clearly, the Malpighian body, this complete part is called as Malpighian body. A blind cup-shaped like organ, a blind cup-shaped like structure is present here. The base part of this particular capsule is called as Bowman's capsule. This is called as Bowman's capsule. Okay. So within the part of the Bowman's capsule, a bunch of blood capillary network is present. This bunch of blood capillary network is called as glomerulus. Okay. Bowman's capsule together with glomerulus. These two structures commonly called as Malpighian body. Okay, observe clearly now. Malpighian body equal to Bowman's capsule plus glomerulus. So how the Malpighian body is combined? This is combined by Bowman's capsule plus glomerulus. A blind cup-shaped like structure called as glomerulus is present. Bowman's capsule is present within the part of the one glomerulus. These two structures called as Malpighian body. Okay, the glomerulus is the combination of two categories or two kinds of blood vessels, which is commonly called as efferent arteriole and efferent arteriole. Pronunciation is same for the both. This is called AFFE orient efferent arteriole. This is called EFFE orient efferent arteriole. Okay. Efferent arteriole. The diameter of the efferent arteriole is larger. The diameter of the efferent arteriole is smaller. Because efferent arteriole has a great pressure. With great pressure, the blood is enters into the glomerulus by having the great force presenting in the efferent arteriole. Due to depending upon the widthness, of course, the widerness, the lumen of the efferent arteriole is broader. That's why there has a great pressure. I mean, which enters very easily into the glomerulus. Whereas the diameter of the efferent arteriole is smaller. Means here there is a clear complete pressure because there is no way to enter the blood to the respect to remaining capillary due to lack of larger lumen. Due to the small lumen, there is a great pressure within the part of the efferent arteriole, especially in the efferent arteriole. Clear itself now. Okay. So the Bowman's capsule opens into the next part is commonly called as PCT. This is also commonly called as first convoluted tubule. First convoluted tubule. Also commonly called as PCT. First convoluted tubule or proximal convoluted tubule. This is sharply soon after from the Bowman's capsule. This is present now. Okay. So the PCT opens into a hairpin shaped structure. This is commonly called as loop of Henle or Henle's loop. Loop of Henle or Henle's loop is also combined with several capillary networks, blood capillary network that is complete connecting with the capillary network. Whereas the loop of Henle opens into the next part is commonly called as DCT, where it is the PCT first convoluted tubule or proximal convoluted tubule. This is commonly called DCT. This is also commonly called as distal or second convoluted tubules. Between the PCT and DCT, there is a Henle's loop. PCT, Henle's loop, and DCT. DCT opens into a long narrow tube that is commonly called as collecting duct or collecting tube. A group of collecting tubes, a group of collecting ducts are opens directly into the open to pelvis. So, for example, here, come to the point here now. Okay, this is the open to pelvis. So, this is commonly called as the collecting duct. The collecting ducts opens into pelvis, opens into pelvis. Okay, all parts of this are directly opens into the pelvis. This is the part is called as the pelvis. Okay, a group of collecting ducts are directly opens into the pelvis. Okay, which the urine is formed that is directly collecting by the next tube is commonly called as this is commonly called as ureters. Clear it is. So one more thing, a group of collecting ducts directly opens into the pelvis now. One more. First of all, here the structure of the Bowman's capsule. The base part of the Bowman's capsule have a separate arrangement. This particular part is completely surrounded by a single layer of squamous epithelial cells. Okay, this is completely combined by single layer of squamous epithelial cells. Single layer squamous epithelial cells. These single layer squamous epithelial cells are commonly called as podocyte cells, which are commonly called as podocytes. Podocyte cells. Okay. So the base part of the Bowman's capsule is surrounded by the single layer squamous epithelial cells. These epithelial cells are commonly called as podocyte cells. Okay. So the podocyte cells have the small microscopic and minute holes. These microscopic and minute holes of the Bowman's capsule structure cells, which are called as the podocyte cells, which can filter the urine. That is commonly called which can filter the blood material itself now, not the urine directly. Okay. Due to the pressure presenting in the glomerulus, the blood material would like to comes into the efferent arterioles. Due to the low narrowness of the efferent arteriole, there is a great pressure is created here. Okay, mechanism of urine formation in that particular topic we will discuss later. The complete formation of urine itself now. Okay, due to the particular pressure, these podocyte cells can filter the particular amount of blood material. It is the respective part is commonly called as Bowman's capsule. These podocyte cells are present here in the. These are well designed or well sophisticated cells which presenting in the base part of the Bowman's capsule. Okay. So next one. So after the formation of this particular PCT, then should be opens into loop of Henle. Loop of Henle opens into the DCT. DCT is also connecting with the opens into pelvis. A group of collecting ducts are directly opens into the particular structures. These are completely connecting with the ureters. How the urine is formation, how the urine formation is designed, how the urine formation is going on. Okay, that should be also completely comes under the mechanism of urine formation. Mechanism of urine formation. That is formed by basically four major steps itself now. So these are the clear structures. No? So there are 1.3 to 1.8 millions of nephrons are present in this particular kidney. These are also called as the structural and functional units of the kidney. Okay, so kidneys are the major parts or chief organs which are also useful for the process of excretion. Nitrogenous waste compounds are excreted by these particular structures. Okay, which are also very important organs. These two diagrams are also very important for your complete coming examinations. Okay, how the mechanism of urine formation. Okay, that should be comes under as the next topic now. We will discuss later for the coming topic. Okay, thank you.